Pembroke Lodge piles. These are the piles that have just gone in. Around the outside we have a sleeved pile. There is a gap between the pile and the edge of the soil into which this fine sand has been placed. That provides a isolation between the pile and the ground. Typically these are placed in cardboard sleeves, but on this job we've actually placed it in a proper ring circled sleeve with the sand surround, giving us higher and better isolation between the two. If one looks inside the pile, you can see that the reinforcement rods are present. These will be broken back to the correct height. The concrete has been poured a little bit lower so there isn't so much concrete to actually break out, minimising the effects of noise and disruption on the local neighbours. This reinforcement has been tied to the casing, as can be seen, into which the concrete is placed. This provides us with a good isolation, preventing any vertical movement being placed onto the side of the tunnel, thereby completely isolating our structure from the tunnel. You can see the next step will be to excavate out around the edge of the piles. These are pretty much going to be about 2.5 metre deep, onto which the pile will be broken back and a new concrete cap stroke pile cap is placed across the top, onto which 2 steel beams are to be added. On this property there is a line of 6 piles onto which 4 ground beams will be added. This provides a large transfer structure, completely isolating the tunnel underneath from the main building. Pile caps are being started to be broken down, called reducing the pile to cut-off level. The cut-off is the level where the pile cap will be inserted. These piles, one on the far side you can see has been broken down. We don't want to take too much more reinforcement off of that, but the external casing has now been removed. You can see the smooth bore around the outside. The one on the right is starting to be exposed a bit more. The reinforcement is shown at the top, and as they break down this will reduce down and we'll take the reinforcement off to the appropriate level. One thing they're not doing well on this site is you can see that the sides of it aren't propped correctly, and they're sending chaps down a hole that is too deep. We will have a word with the contractor about this. People going down holes over about a metre deep can be dangerous. The soil can collapse, break your legs, etc. This soil, if it collapsed, whoever's been using that spade down there could well kill them. Falls onto their rib cage, can't breathe, takes 15 minutes to dig them out, they're dead. So there is quite an infringement on this site. On the other side here's 2 piles which aren't taken down at the moment. Pile caps and pile cap reinforcement. You can see that the 2 piles down there have been broken down and the reinforcement is extending through. The reinforcement within the pile is to provide some tensions to the pile. These piles actually extend 28 metres, of which 19 metres is sleeved. The edge of the sleeve can just be seen around the bottom of the pile there. And we want it, in effect, for the first 19 metres acts as a column, so that reinforcement prevents any buckling of the column within the ground. Once the hole's been excavated, as you can see, the piles have been broken down. Next comes along the reinforcement, at which point we stick in the pile cage on top. On top of this, the holding down bolts will be added.